Yeah, I guess my question is kind of similar to the one back here, but maybe from a different kind of tack. Is there any sense of kind of results that that your approach delivers better results, quicker, faster, or different results than the other style of approach?
Well, I guess maybe if I could put someone on the spot in our audience, I don't know, we have the People's Republic is here. James, would you say from prior experience of working with a game developer that you've been able to see your concept come to life more quickly? And,
yeah, I mean, every time I go in to see the guys, it's already 10 times better than it was last time, because I mean, I've provided them with not the most solid of game design briefs. And so each time we have a look at it, the first time was bare bones, and that was great, and the second time blew me away, it was 10 times what the first time was, and then the third time, 10 times again.
So, and exponential growth.
What platform's the game for? The proposed game, the one that you did for this for PRA?
Oh, it doesn't matter what the end platform is. That's the nice thing about what we're doing is we provide you with a DVD, and you choose what platform you want to develop it for. So we're not in the business of making a finished game. We're in the business of giving you something you can give, to the game development team to use their platform.
I thought there'd be a huge difference in platforms, but that's just me. Even in game design, what features you can add into a game design is dependent on the platform, I would think. So it wouldn't be generic. I would think you need to target a platform when you go through this process.
And one thing we try to consider is the type of interface that the game will have, since that makes a huge difference. So we try to, if the game's on PlayStation, our primary interface would be the game controller. So we would make sure that the guests that sit down to player sketches have a controller to a keyboard and mouse.
Do we have other questions?
Just to clarify, so what's the main goal of this tool? Is it prototype building tool or is it prototype testing tool?
It's a testing tool. It's to make sure that your game is fun. That you have an idea and you think this game is fun, but you want to make sure it's fun. You want to know how it flows.
So does it mean that actually the game developer have to supply the prototype for you for test, or you develop the prototype as you test it and provide back a prototype version back to game developer? So what the game developer gets back from the service?
Yeah, as you saw in like the video that had the sort of puppeted characters moving around on the screen, you would get a DVD that would have however many hours of gameplay that you thought your game would be. It would be, and there would be some shorthand involved, but because this is a tool for experts, they'd be able to see, okay, here's basically how these interactions happen at this waypoint. This is your decisions that you make. These are the villains or support characters you encounter. And so you get a video that basically lasts generally for as long as the game would last for the average player. Of course, everybody's different. Some people spend forever. So it's not exploring every possible avenue, but the basic general flow of how an average player would play the game.
In the industry, there's a practice for game designers to actually take an existing game, because it's very hard to communicate what new interactivity is sometimes. So they'll actually take an existing game, play it and videotape it and show it to their team. But it's an existing game, it's not new. So what we're trying to do is, instead of them providing an existing game, they would provide their own game that they sketch.
When you think of the game development pipeline, if you think of the game initiating text and then perhaps still sketches and verbal briefs, is that where you come in straight after that process? So you take the embryo and grow it into a anime.
Exactly. Yeah. We take like a treatment or some type of script that they've made and turn it into something that they can interact with.
How are we doing on time? Do we have any more questions?
Time for one more.
Anyone?
Thank you very much.
Probably see that some of the groups take a different approach to just getting up and having a PowerPoint and presenting. And I think you'll see that this group right here, the circus
Project.
subtly different than just, hey, here's PowerPoint. It's more about seducing the audience and getting that point across in a way that really conveys the message. Here they are.
Hello everyone, thank you for coming. My name is Cameron McCadden, and this is Shannon Harvey, and we are on the Circus Pirate project. The goal for our project is to create virtual interactive scenery for a large-scale circus big top show. The circus that we're actually working with is, they're called a Spaghetti Circus, and they're a children's circus up in Mullumbimby, New South Wales, Australia. And we're going to help them produce their third and to date largest scale show that they've done in the big top. The theme is pirates, the search for the ultimate pirate. So it was a lot of fun when they told us this idea. We're thinking this is going to be a great experience. They're a children's circus of 500 students, and they're choosing their top 50 performers to showcase their talents and skills in this production. We're also working with one other company called ELS. They're Entertainment Lighting and Sound. They're an audio-visual equipment company, and they are actually providing 3 colossal screens, rear projection screens, that will act as virtual scenery behind the show itself. They're also providing the 3 projectors, which are going to project our content onto these screens. I talk about our content. We're right at the last stages of making 2.5 hours of visual, interactive, and video content to display on these screens behind the show itself. So when I talk about the screens, most of them are going to be scenes like this. This is an island scene we have. We also have an open ocean scene. We've got a beautiful rendered storm scene that comes in. We've got a dock scene and an inn scene. But mostly it is to sort of enhance the overall experience of the performance, and it's to add immersion to the audience so they feel in some way that they're actually taking part in this pirate adventure. But we don't want, it was important to us not to take away from the actual attention of the audience on the characters, on the players themselves. That was coming in a little later. We sort of negotiated that we would also play a part because we wanted to showcase our talents as well. So probably 20%, 15-20% of what we're doing is in fact interactive, which means that the performers themselves will be able to interact with the screen itself and maybe add just a little extra element of excitement. When I say interactive, what do I mean? Well, for example, this pirate ship right here is actually this huge stage structure that they've built. And one of the scenes, just a short snippet, there is a pirate boy who is fishing off the back of the boat. And he's just holding the fishing pole itself. And a virtual string is going onto the screen, and he catches a virtual fish. And as he's reeling it in, a giant shark leaps from the water, grabs the fish, takes it down under, and snaps the line, and the boy reels back and falls onto the ship. It's very small, it takes 15-20 seconds, but in this way, it's not as much interactive as it is mock interactive, because of course there is no actual connection between what's physically happening there and the screen. In this case, it's all being puppeteered by us off stage. So that would be mock interactivity. A more real example of true interactivity is the side of the boat is lined with cannons, which are swiveled, and one of the scenes is an actual naval battle that's going to happen on the ocean, where the ship splits and part of it comes over here, and they're firing cannons across the screen at the other ship, which is going to be on the screen on the other side.